She began her career in dance at the ripe old age of 7 and eventually became the first female African-American principal dancer in the U.S. She's an avid football fan and has been featured in People magazine and been a guest on the game show To Tell the Truth. Hello, I'm Ernie Manouse. Coming up on InnerVIEWS, our conversation with prima ballerina Lauren Anderson. What was it that made you want to dance?
Gosh. You know, that's a great question and probably one of the hardest ones to answer. I'd have to say the music. And it looked impossible, so I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
I'm really competitive.
Did you think that it was open to you? When you first found out about dance, when you first saw classical ballet, was there any part in you that said, I can't do that?
Oh, absolutely not. No, because why would I say that? I mean, there were people doing it, and I'm a person, so I could do it. I'm sure I had to. I had to learn it, just like with the violin, because I played the violin before I danced, and I heard the violin for the first time live, and I had to play that instrument. It was the most beautiful thing I'd ever heard. And I grew up with a piano in the house, so when I saw dance, I don't remember exactly what I saw. I want to say it was a Nutcracker, but it wasn't Houston Ballets, because I was in Houston Ballet's first Nutcracker.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But it was a production at Jones Hall, because I remember thinking how red everything was and how huge everything was. And I sat on the edge of my seat, and I did like this Fred Astaire number down the stairs, because they're easier because they're short.
Right.
And my mother was like, well, do you want to dance? I was like, yes. So next thing I knew, September, I was at the Houston Ballet Academy.
Tell me a little about your home life before all of this.
Before all of this?
Yeah.
I don't remember many years before that, because I was 7 when I started.
Yeah.
Funny. A lot of laughter, a lot of hugging, a lot of love, a lot of discipline, because I'm an only child. So, gosh. I remember thinking, my parents are too smart. How am I ever going to be that smart? Because both of my parents are teachers. My mom teaches music, and my dad's an educator. He's retired now, and he was a principal at HSPVA. He helped open HSPVA, and for 17 years, and then everywhere else. So I'm thinking, how am I ever going to be that smart? Because you want to be like your parents.
Right.
And I just remember being happy and playing a lot and learning a lot and getting a lot of spankings because I wouldn't shut up. I wouldn't listen. I just wanted to do. So dance was a really good avenue for me because I got a lot of energy out.
When you told your family dance is what you wanted to do, did they take you serious?
Well, they raised me, so they knew if I said I wanted to do it, that I was going to do it. If they said I couldn't do it, then I was really going to want to do it. But I started dancing, and the thing that made me take ballet classes only is because my parents wanted to give me the best of lessons in one or the other. And we couldn't afford that in violin and ballet. So I had to choose. I thought, well, I could probably sit in a chair at 60 and play the violin, but I couldn't dance till I'm 60. So I chose ballet, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah. Why ballet over any other kind of dance?
Oh, it's just, you get to tell stories. You get to tell a story. You get to put a complete thought across without saying a word.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing to do is talk.
So does that ever strike you as kind of odd that this is the field you chose, one where you don't talk?
I know, because, my cohorts here call me the mouth of the South. And, people from the North go, oh, she's the mouth of the South. Actually, Pam's chick in the ballet, that's the first thing she said, 2 days into the season, she just got in here. She goes, well, you're the mouth of the South. And I got in trouble a lot as a kid for talking.
Yeah.
I got kicked out of a lot of ballet classes.
Yeah, you weren't an easy student, were you?
Well, actually, I think I was a good student. I just wasn't easy. I didn't make it easy for the other students because I kept talking. So, because I wanted to learn and I was eager to learn. I wasn't talking about shopping. I was talking about ballet, but you can't, it has to be a dictatorship and you have to just shut up and listen. And I couldn't because I was excited. I've got a ton of energy.
I heard that there was challenges between you and other students in the class.
Oh my goodness. One of my best friends at that time was Martha Butler. And she would do 4 turns and I would do 5 turns. And she would do 6 turns and I'd do 7 and fall over and try to do 7. I mean, we would do this. And I think that actually made us both really good because we wanted to be not the best in the class, but just better than whatever the last thing we did. And I kind of have done that in my career, but not against other female dancers, but my partners, which is everyone's going, how can you compete with your partner? Like, well, it's not a competition per se because I don't jump really high. Like the guys, well, I used to. Now I'm 41. But I don't do the same steps. You know, the guys get these exciting bravura steps, and we go, you know. So I have to make that, like, breathtaking.
I think it's funny that you say it, because I think if I was talking to a male dancer right now, they would say that the female dancers have all of the great moves and everything, and they basically get to present them.
But do you see, okay, they present us, they pick us up, they turn us around, and they hold us up. Then they walk us off the stage and immediately jump up and down for 3 minutes. That's insane. But it's exciting. And when when you get a male partner that's incredible, then it's on. The challenge is on. He's going to be good, so you're going to be better. Then his code is going to be good, then your code is going to be better, and the finale is going to be great. You have to approach it that way, or it's not any good.
Can you dance with someone that you don't like?
Yes, I've done it.
And how do you get through that?
We're dancing. I'm dancing. It feels good. It's something I love to do. And granted, I come into work on Tuesday, and it's like coming to work on Monday for anyone who sits behind a desk. And you don't always want to go in. I'm not like, oh, I want to get up and go to work. No, I'm like, oh, gosh, got to get up and go to work, you know. Because it's kind of like playing a football game. When I go home, I'm dragging the leg, and I'm putting ice on it. And then I'm playing with the baby, and then I'm thinking, oh, gosh, dinner. And I mean, you know, it's the same thing.
Right.
But the thing is, I don't like to rehearse with someone I don't like. That's the part. The studio process is a little janky. But for some reason, you end up liking them better afterwards because, I mean, you have a different kind of relationship. You have to. And you have to you don't necessarily have to get along or agree, but you have to come together on something. Because, and unfortunately, we need to follow. And I just kind of learned that a couple years ago. It's kind of scary. But, I mean, you know, if the guy gets the lead, then he can really save it or not save it or whatever. But my whole thing is you shouldn't have to save it. I should just be on.
Right.
But
what about a ballet you don't like?
Oh, honey. Actually, I haven't done that many ballets I don't like. And the second time around, I liked it better.
Really?
Yeah, but I've done one that I hated. I didn't like it in the studio, and I didn't like it on the stage, and I was hurting. I had plantar fasciitis at the time, so it was like an ice pick going into my heel every time I ran. I had to run upstairs, and I had to run around, and all I did was run and jump. And that's what hurt. So I was a little miserable, but the performance wasn't bad. And my goal was to be that character and let the audience enjoy it. And then I enjoyed it. It was weird.
Explain the thrill of going out on the stage. Can you put that in words?
Thrill, that's scary. Okay. When I was 7 years old, and I was the mother ginger behind the skirt that came out and licked the lollipop and gave it to Clara,
in Nutcracker.
That was in Nutcracker, yes. That was thrilling. Now it's anxiety. It's exciting, but before, I mean, you know, I want to throw up. My stomach has butterflies. I want to cry. Sometimes I'm thinking if I go past this black leg and step onto the stage and the light hits me, I can't turn back. Oh, but of course I want to go out there, but it's just that nervous. Because the more I dance and the older I got, I get more nervous.
When the light hits you, though, and you've gone past that, and you're there.
I'm there.
Are you aware of everything that's going on around you, or do you go into a zone in some way?
Well, okay, there's a combo. You want to be aware of everything because it's a live performance. And if you all of a sudden find yourself on the ground, you have to be able to pop back up and make it look like it was supposed to happen. Or what I do, I call pas de save, when you do something wrong and then make it look right. So you have to be aware of your surroundings, but I'm not really aware of the audience. I feel them when I first come out. Like I kind of feel what's going on. But generally, I'm there. The only time I've been brought out of there because of things that have happened on stage.
Yeah.
But I don't know, the whole thing about, you're right, it's like when you just get from the black to the light,
Yeah.
There's this exhilaration. There's this. It's a really incredible feeling, but it's hell to deal with beforehand because you're just so nervous. Like when I hear ba ba dum bum 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 bum, that's the beginning of the pas de deux for Don Quixote. Even if I'm sitting in the audience and someone else is doing it, I get that strange pang in my tummy.
Have you danced the perfect performance in your career yet?
Yes.
Yeah?
Once. Well, okay. I thought it was perfect. I got a whole page of notes, but I thought it was perfect. It was perfect for me because my partner and I were in simpatico. We were absolutely cohesive. And I felt that with like 2 different people, 3 different people, which is amazing because I've only danced, I've danced with almost everyone that's come through. But I really felt that with Carlos Acosta and with Dominic Walsh. Man, when I do what he really wants, it is amazing. But the thing about Dominic is he can look at you. We can even fight in the afternoon because we're really close. We're close. So we fight, you know. You fight with people you're close with. we don't fight, but we disagree.
You fight.
That's good. Yeah, we fight. Yeah. We fight and we pout. It's hysterical. But he can look at me one moment and be mad at me in rehearsal and get on stage and just be in love with me. And it's the most amazing thing. It just makes me, you know, because we've done a lot. We've done everything. And he's coming after Carlos, which is, you would say, is a hard spot to be in, but I don't think so. Nobody's like Carlos. Nobody's like Dominic.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both incredible. And I've danced with probably Dominic longer than Carlos, but there's something, and they're so different, but they're so much alike. Because they're kind of real, and when they get on stage, they're just real.
Yeah.
They're really whoever they're supposed to be, which makes me have to be more real.
Another relationship that you have to talk about is Ben Stevenson.
Ben Jojo. Yeah, he's, oh gosh. I love him. I've known him since I was 11. Oh, here we go. I've known him since I was 11, and I miss him.
He was the artistic director here.
Yeah, I knew you were going to do this to me. He said to me when I was little, you know, you have so much talent. You need to work harder. It's 10% talent, 90% work. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And then when you're about 13 or 14, you ask, you know, where should I go? What place do I fit in the best? And he said, musical theater. Because you have a great voice and you can act, you can sing, you're a good dancer, but you need to keep taking ballet because you can do anything from that. And that's when it was like, I got to do it. Because I'd just been told that I should go somewhere. And I thought musical theater would be good because I always had the pencil and the towel in my hair like Whoopi did or whatever. And I'd sing with my girls, we are family or whatever. And whatever show would come out, I knew everything to a chorus line, knew everything to, I mean, you know. But I wanted to dance. I wanted to be a classical ballerina.
When Ben, though, came to you and said, why don't you look at musical theater, did that kill?
Well, no, because he didn't say it like, you should maybe. He said, you know, you'd be great at musical theater because you have this, this, and this. But you should keep taking ballet because ballet is the best training for anything you do.
So if you respected him so much, why aren't I talking to you on a Broadway stage right now? Why did you choose to
Because if I did what he said to do in the studio, I would be a dancer. So I'm going to see if what he has to say is right. I mean, I don't know. I had to dance. I chose dance at first, but then it chose me, and I didn't have a choice. Yeah. You know, it was really strange. My friends were like, can you do this? I got to go to ballet. On Saturdays, can you do this? After 12 when I get back from ballet. They tease me about it now. They were like, well, thank goodness you went to ballet. You didn't have a job. I was like, well, yeah.
But as I understand, too, body shape was difficult for you.
Well, you know, it was difficult because of what I wanted to do in dance. But my strength was jumping and turning. Power was my strength. Actually, I didn't realize that vulnerability was my strength also, as I sit here boo-hooing. But I had big muscles. I mean, I was just muscular. I mean, I'm a dancer. I dance. I eat a lot, and I dance a lot. Well, that's going to build muscle, especially if I'm jumping up and down like the guys, you know. And then I'm skateboarding and running and doing all that. So I had to find a way to slim down without, and I like to eat. Mm-hmm. So I can't, like, starve myself, because that's not going to work. So I thought, first thing I thought is cut out Meat. Okay, cut out meat, eat seafood. Still got my Bluebell homemade vanilla in the morning, whatever. And then I thought, well, okay, that's 5 pounds of muscle, but I'm still bulky. Well, then we did, I think we had one of the first Pilates studios. And I became like the Pilates queen. Actually, we were forced. We were forced to take, because we had in the curriculum Pilates and Grand Modern. And Pilates is basically a lot of exercises that make you stronger, especially in the middle, but doesn't build any muscle. It lengthens muscle. Because I lost these bulky thighs. Honey, after I did that, I became a soloist, and I became a principal. And people said, well, did you go on a diet? And, well, not really. I actually ended up eating more food, but just cut out, like, the meat except for seafood. And I still ate, I hate to say it, women are going to hate me, I still ate, like, chips and stuff like that. I did. Because I grazed, like, all day. Yeah. You know, it's funny.
But you're also burning the calories all day,
honey.
too.
Well, you're in the studio. You know, and actually, when I became a principal dancer, Ben wasn't like, there's stars and there's a Houston Ballet. The Houston Ballet was the star. So even if you were a principal, you did some of the other things, second cast. And so I was dancing all day. I danced like one time for 5 years straight with 1 week off. It was great. I was in the best shape I'd ever been in because I was performing a lot. And when I don't have anything to do, I get like, well, I'll go to the park or I'll, you know. So I danced a lot.
You mentioned becoming a principal dancer.
Oh, that was like the best day of my life.
When you found out, did you realize all the implication that went with it?
No. Well, I didn't realize about this black thing. Oops, African-American, whatever, black thing. I realized about the black thing because I'd been black forever, and I didn't know anything else. Because you always get the question, how does it feel being black in the ballet? Black? I don't know. But I didn't realize the impact it really kind of had on the scheme of things. Because I thought there were other black ballerinas around. And then I realized, well, there's Virginia Johnson, who I looked up to, and then she's retired now, okay. And I'm looking. And the dance world is small, so the black dance world is really small, and you know everybody. But I was thinking, in a major ballet company, where's the representation? But then I realized that it's the way African Americans are perceived. Strong, exotic, sexy, never vulnerable and dainty. You don't think of a black woman and think vulnerable and dainty. You think, well, she's strong or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's retarded to me because in ballet, you're never what that role you're playing. Who is a sylph? Who walks around going, in real life? Nobody. We all have to pretend to do that. So, I don't know, or act. So it didn't make any sense to me that I couldn't be anything. So I never had that, like, thrown in my face or that as a barrier. I had all those other hurdles to get over. Why should I even deal with that? And luckily, my parents were very like, you just have to be the best you can be anyway. We just expect that. That was expected from birth, I guess. And then the Houston Ballet sheltered me kind of from letters and negative energies and stuff, which was great, actually.
Was there a lot of that?
I found that out later. That, like, if you get a letter from the KKK or something, there has to be a file, and the FBI or whoever's involved. And so, yeah, there's a file. I'm on file. Because I did the Sugar Plum Fairy with Tim O'Keefe, and I was romantic with this white boy. I was like, the Sugar Plum Fairy? She's a piece of candy. She's in a pink, Pepto-Bismol pink tutu going, I don't even look, I think I may look at him once in the very beginning, and after that I'm just kind of going frou-frou in the front. I was thinking, what are these? They're going to die. Then, Lord have mercy, I thought everything was going to break loose when Carlos did Romeo and Juliet with Janie Parker, and they have the kiss a few times. I thought, Lord, but I guess by then people got over it, I don't know. Yeah. But anyway, that wasn't an issue, except for one time I remember. It didn't bother me then, but it bothers the heck out of me now. I was in the Corps de Ballet, and we were doing a ballet called Theme and Variations. And it's Balanchine. It's fabulous. And there's the lead couple and then 4 girls, or 2 girls and then 4 girls. Well, there were a lot of other ballets going on, and people were ill, so you kind of get bumped up. So I was in the back learning it. It was my first year in the Corps. I was in the back learning it with the apprentices. There were 2 Corps girls and 4 apprentices, and everyone else was gone or whatever. So there was 3 or 4 people that had to be bumped up. So they bump up the apprentices, and I'm standing back there waiting because now there's a new spot open. And the guy leans over and goes, can I get somebody from the school? And I went, and that time I was 18, so I was like, no, he didn't. And so I was like back there going, and I knew every role and, doing the releve section. The next time we did it, I was the lead, and I've been the lead in Theme of Variations ever since. Well, except for lately, but we don't want to do it. But I thought and I didn't realize that until I became a principal. And things kind of came into perspective because all of a sudden I was doing Swan Lake, and all these quote-unquote white roles. The only role that's a white role is like Alice in Wonderland, because it describes her as blonde with a blue dress and a white apron, this tall with black shoes. You don't get a description of Aurora. She's sleeping. Aurora's a sleeping beauty. The Swan Queen is a chick trapped in a bird's body. The Sylph is just some little ghostly character. I mean, so why not? So Ben did, and I didn't ever think I couldn't until a dancer came to me and said, "I can't believe you're doing Sleeping Beauty." And I went, and I sharpened my point shoes, and I went into the dressing room and cried.
Yeah.
And then I came out and sharpened the other shoe and just did it.
How do you deal with, I don't want to say loss, but the change of people that are around you? I mean, with a career as long as yours.
Well, you mentioned Ben, and I fell apart.
Right.
Actually, because you're dancing. Dancing is something you do for you in the beginning. And you do it for you, and then you present it to the public and whatever, but I had to just, that's hard because I love Houston Ballet, and I've been here for 30 some odd years. And when Ben left, I got angry and got pregnant.
You showed them.
That was no, I'm joking. That was the best thing I could have ever done. It was the best, because I now have a son who's absolutely stunning. And I had to grow up. I was forced to grow up and not be that pouty little dancer who always, had other people to figure out what was going to happen to you. I had to figure out what my next step was going to be. Do I go on and do this because it's not time to quit? Or do I stop because I'm irritated and pouty? Do I go to Dallas or try to go to Dallas and uproot my entire family, which is crazy because I have 3 sets of grandparents here, which is very easy to deal with as a dancer because we have a crazy set. And also, it's not fair to them. I mean, I can't just uproot my son. I just can't do that. So I thought, well, I love Houston Ballet, and I like Stanton, so, why not?
Right.
The hardest thing I'd ever done in my life was try to come back from having a baby, because your body's taken over by this alien. Well, actually, no, the baby comes out, and then you feel like an alien goes in there, and it's like, who is this? What am I doing? Because you don't know. Because you're so in tune with everything.
Was it harder to get back in shape after the baby or earlier in your teens when you wanted to redefine?
Oh, after the baby. After the baby.
Yeah?
Well, yeah, because my body was different. My body's different than it was 4 years ago. And actually, it feels better. But I'm just old. And I'm not old in life. I'm old for a dancer, or mature. No, but it hurt just as badly when I was 26 as it does now. It's just I know how to take care of myself now. I'm not an idiot. And just jump up and not warm up, stuff like that. I love dancing, and it's going to be hard to stop. But I'm kind of relieved. And I was really mad about retiring. I didn't want to retire with Nutcracker. But I'm kind of relieved because I have a lot of shows. I mean, I don't have to retire once. I can kind of dance my way out instead of doing one show.
Is going to be going through your mind at that last curtain call?
I don't want to think about it. I hope what went through my mind when I handed Stanton that letter saying I was going to resign at this time. I was like, yay, I'm free. I'll have Christmas.
After that final curtain call, then, what are you going to do?
I'm going to be so busy. Like the moment the curtain goes down, like the website goes up and it becomes chapter 2, my second job ever.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And what is it?
Let's see, outreach. I'm going to be the outreach associate with the Houston Ballet. And then, of course, I'll be guesting, and I'll still be guest performing, but I'll be teaching here and, doing things for me and learning my next thing, because I got to be good at it. I can't be mediocre. I got to be really, really good at whatever I'm doing next. But I got to get kids interested in something else, because our kids are going the wrong way. Something's really messed up with our society. I think our kids are going the wrong way, so they're not thinking. And I know that music organizes the thoughts, it's said. I believe that. And I think if I just got there behind a theater seat of some sort, we can start with the Houston Ballet, but there's so many theaters and so many wonderful venues around that we could have more student shows and get them in there. And they can see that if you like to draw, you draw one scene from a park scene. You have just designed a set of a ballet or of a play or of something else. You have an eye for this. You should be a carpenter. There's so many things. There's so many more people behind the scenes than in front of the scenes.
Yeah.
So I got to get them interested. I just got to. And for some reason, Stanton said to me, he goes, you kind of have a way to make ballet approachable to anybody. So I think you'd be good at, because, with kids. And I thought,
well,
yeah.
With that, we're going to say thank you so much for sitting down with us. Pleasure to talk with you. Congratulations on all your successes.
Thanks.
Lauren Anderson.
I knew you were going to make me cry.
To order a transcript, call 866-652-3378 or send $6.95 to the address on your screen. Please include the name of the guest.